We want to go down to Southern California now and talk with the local National Weather Service office. They have been tracking this very closely. Lead forecaster Andrew Rourke joining us. And Andrew, those conditions overnight leading to now several large fires across the southern part of the state.
Yes, very warm, very dry, and unfortunately we had a couple sparks go, and doesn't take much for a big fire to start. The Saddlebed Ridge fire is going the biggest one, aided by 45 to 55-mile-per-hour wind gusts. Firemen just trying to save structures at this point and waiting for the winds to settle down before they can actually start attacking the fire. Unfortunately, 0% contained right now, and the winds are only going to get worse through mid-morning before finally starting to subside starting later this morning.
Andrew, we have winds that are going to be a big driving factor, but also we have had limited moisture, and so those fuels down there in Southern California have been so dry. This is also contributing to that quicker rate of spread of the fires.
That's right. Unfortunately, the Santa Ana season coincides with our driest fuel season. We haven't had any substantial rain since last spring. Long, hot summer has dried out the fuels, and now with the Santa Ana winds and the very dry air, the fuels get even drier. And then with the wind. So yes, October, unfortunately, is Southern California's, actually all of California's prime fire season, just because it's the confluence of dry, strong winds and very dry, tinder-like fuels.
When we talk about the Santa Ana season, we have people that are maybe not as familiar. This is a name for those dry, downsloping winds that come in from the northeast for parts of Southern California. When you get to Santa Barbara County, when we talked about the Thomas fire, that's more of that northerly wind called the sundowners. What is the typical setup and something you look for to issue those red flag warnings?
We're looking for high pressure to build into the Great Basin. In the summertime, those high pressure systems are further to the south. They do not set up things, but as we transition into fall, we get cold air coming in from Canada, sets up in the Great Basin in Idaho, Nevada area, creates a strong pressure gradient from the northeast, funneling straight through our mountains, causing a good push of air. Cold air comes along with it too, cold, dry air, which forces the air downsloping, and then causes the big rain. So we're looking for cold air. We're looking for high pressure up to the northeast. We don't have the third factor, which is northeast winds aloft, fortunately, which causes our super strong winds. But still, this is enough to cause a strong 55 to 65-mile-per-hour scenario, which is certainly more than enough to create a big fire, as we're watching that video now in the Slimore area.
We're going to be continuing to watch those winds overnight into this morning and into the afternoon. How is the forecast as we head into the weekend? Because it's a holiday weekend. A lot of people want to go out camping and be outdoors, but of course, fire danger is still going to be a big concern.
Yes, it will be dry. Relief is in sight, though. The strong winds will end this afternoon as the pressure gradients relax. The high pressure moves a little bit to the east, so that's good. All the wind advisories should end mid-afternoon. There'll be some more northeast winds tonight into Saturday morning. Nothing advisory level, but still enough to cause some problems with the firemen. So we'll be briefing them about that. Then Sunday, things look good. The pressure gradients reverse. We might actually see some of our moisture marine layer stratus come in, which will be a big help. And the big thing is the winds will be on the light side, and if they do come in, they'll be off the ocean. So Sunday looks good. So the holiday weekend, if we can just get to it, we'll be in good shape.
Now we are moving forward into fall and even the winter seasons, and it's a good time to remind people not to let their guard down, because we've been looking at the outlooks together, and there still could be bigger wind events as we move forward into the coming months and the end of this year.
Right. This is just our first Santa Ana event of the season. A little later than usual, but still not that strange. And we should have, unfortunately, a few more big wind events before we get our first big rain event, if climatology is our guide. We usually we'll see some rain in November, but not really a fire weather season ending rain, usually until December. So yes, all the way through October, November, we really have to be on our guard, practice all of our good fire weather safety rules, and just be prepared for these big fires. It's never too early to start preparing.
We really appreciate that. Was Andrew Rourke joining us, the lead forecaster for the National Weather Service out of Los Angeles. Thank you for all yourself and your team are doing